So you recently were viewing the property on
I think it's a lovely house.
Windsor Mill
The
Road.
fact that it's old
It's a
doesn't
pretty old
bother me at
house.
all.
What do you think
It's,
about it?
Wonderful. The grounds are beautiful, and they're large, and there's a nice backyard for my son. You know, I have a 5-year-old son, and I was impressed with it. I was impressed with it.
I've been renovating the house for the past 6 years. Me and my brother and father have been working on it together and just taking care of the upkeep, doing some renovations to make it look the way it does now, and now it's pretty nice. It's the third generation of people in our family living there. But so what do you do for work? What is your profession?
I'm an esthetician. I have a license with the state of Maryland, and an esthetician practices skincare, makeup, and waxing, and I've been doing that. I've been in the business for 15 years. I've had my license for 11 years.
Waxing, that's a new subject for me. So you wax taking the hair off, like if a woman has hair on her lips, they remove it?
That's what we do. We get rid of unwanted hair, and I do makeup lessons and skincare on women. I also do quite a few men in my business, so it's exciting. It's very exciting. I'm people oriented, and I enjoy my work very much.
So every morning
handsome.
I would need to put makeup on every morning.
And I like your mustache too, so I would never wax that.
So do you plan on making this home, a place for your business, or do you have
a salon right now
place outside of it?
Space from a large beauty salon. I may convert one of the rooms, the small room, and put maybe a waxing pot and do a few clients in the house, but I can assure you that I'm extremely neat and my salon is immaculate, and I make sure that nothing drips. I always lay plastic down on carpets and that type of thing. I'm not going to be using your home as my primary salon, but to tell you the truth, there might be a few people, friends and clients that I'm close to coming into the house. Yes, that's a possibility.
You could use the dining room as that because there is access to a door and allow people to come in and out. And the garage is right there, so there could be people parked in the garage and allow for some space for them to come in and park. So that could work out. So the rent's $1,500 a month. I'm sorry, $150. And then utilities with the gas, electric. Do you think you'd be able to pay for that? You know, the telephone bill, gas and electric, lighting, the gas bill for the stove. These are all bills that you would have to pay as well. Do you have any questions?
Could you tell me what your last 3 utility bills were so I have an idea of how to budget?
Well, it's about $50 for electric, including the freezer. So depending on the season, you know, if it's hot outside, you might not be using the hot water as much, or if you're constantly out of the house, maybe you won't be using the air conditioning, and depending on the weather, you know, it really just varies on many factors, but I would say around 100, 150 every month for gas, lighting, somewhere around 150. So there's 2 master bedrooms, a living room, and it's possible to make additions for your son. Maybe he could live upstairs. We also have a 2-car garage. I parked my car, the one that I really love, in that garage. So do you work all day, every day? What is your schedule like?
I usually go in around 10 after I drop my son off, and sometimes I work until 8 or 9 in the evening. My parents take care of my little boy for me after he gets back from school. And then my days off are Sundays and Mondays. And sometimes I'll go in late or I'll get home a little early. It depends on how many bookings I have.
So on your vacation days, are there going to be people in and out of the house, or will you be the only person there?
Yes, because a lot of my girlfriends will come in. That's mainly who I do. A few clients that live close to the house, it would be more convenient for them to come to the house. And a few girlfriends that visit on the weekends or maybe perhaps my day off. That room looked ideal because of the separate entrance. But I want you to understand that I do have a primary salon outside of the house, and that there are not going to be a tremendous amount of people traipsing through the house. I would definitely keep that down to a minimum.
Do you mind telling me a little bit about your background, where you grew up, where you're from? Are you from Woodlawn, or did you move from a different state? Did you grow up in Woodlawn?
I am from originally from Bowie, Maryland. Have lived there for almost 30 years.
So why would you move to Baltimore? Is it for work that you moved, or is there another reason?
Being closer to a large city like Baltimore, a lot of my clients come from north of Bowie, and I'm looking for a new clientele.
So you have a son that you live with, but are you married? Are you going to be living with your husband as well?
I have a little boy. He's 5 years old, and yes, I am a single mother. I've never been married.
Oh, okay. I see. So now, the house you're thinking about renting has 3 rooms. It's pretty big for you. Do you think that it's appropriate and fits your needs, or do you think that it's too big? Because when I think about this house, I think about a family
Yes,
moving there, but since there's only two of you, I wasn't sure if you felt
house,
comfortable.
and that's what I'm looking for my son. I don't want to raise him in an apartment or a townhouse environment. I like the fact that it's a single family home. I love the fact that it's older. You've done a beautiful job with it. And I'm comfortable with the fact that it's that big, and I'm also comfortable with the price that you're asking. I think it's reasonable.
I had a lot of bad experiences with the tenant, and for example, I had one tenant move in and he asked if he could have a dog there, and I said sure. So him and the dog moved in, but it was an awful experience because once I came back to the house, there was stains everywhere, the glass was broken, the dog had broken the screen, and there was just a lot of damages from that dog. And I realized that from this point forward, no pets are allowed. Although I do know that it depends on each individual how they maintain the house, but I just think that it would be
Actually,
best
it's
if
funny that you mentioned
there's no
that
pets
because,
allowed. Is that going to be a problem for you? Do you
son
have pets?
Desperately wants an animal, and I am highly allergic to animals. So I take him to my sister's house, and she has a beautiful collie that he plays with. And my sister-in-law, who has 5 children, she has a little zoo over there. So I send him to my relatives when he gets a craving for an animal. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to have an animal unless I get shots, and I'm not right now willing to do that. So that's not going to be a concern. There will be no animals or pets in the house.
So if there's any problems with the house, if you don't like the color of something, of the paint, and maybe you want to change things depending on the actual alterations you want to make, I would appreciate if you check with me first, because I'm capable of doing a lot of things around the house. I'm a handyman, and I can come on and I can come down first, try to figure out the problem before we call a professional. But if it's something that I'm not skilled in, then of course we'll call a professional. If you want me to change a color of the paint, that won't be a problem for me, because I want the tenant to feel as if it is their own home.
Are you finished renovating the kitchen? I noticed that perhaps it could use a coat of paint.
You mean you don't like the color purple and everything in the kitchen? No,
well,
I'm only joking.
Normally I like purple, but not in my kitchen.
Do you want something darker? Do you want something brighter in comparison to the purple that it is now?
Yes, I think that because it's small, the dark purple color makes it look even smaller. Maybe something lighter, but we of course would consult on that. Sounds like you would like to get rid of the purple kitchen too, so perhaps I could help you with some decorating ideas.
I'm trying to think of all the questions I have. Okay, so I'll give you the application. Once you fill that out, you're going to also write down your renter's history. I'll look it over. But so far during this conversation, it seems like you're a really good person, and our personalities would match better than some that I've met earlier. You have a lot of questions, which is nice. So if we want to move forward, you're going to have to put down a safety deposit for the rent. And then, of course, we'll agree on everything that's in the lease, and we can move forward from there. Do you have any questions right now about anything?
I'm sure that there's more questions I'm going to have as I review the lease and the application. Um, but I just want you to know that I'm a very responsible person and that I am a totally dedicated mother. And my life revolves around my son's life. I don't have a boyfriend at the time. There's not men coming in and out of the house. Um, I make sure that my son keeps things neat. I'm very careful about, in fact, I'm fanatical about him spilling things on the carpet. He, he's very careful. I mean, he's as careful as a 5-year-old can be. But I want you to know that I'm very conscientious about other people's property. And when I move in, I will consider it my house for that time that I'm there. And I promise that I'll take very good care of it.
Thank you. So after we finish all of the paperwork, I'll welcome you and your son. I can show you around, see what's the best school for his age. Rent. If you're late paying the rent, I might get a hold of you and let you know that it's due, and if it continues to be late, then this might be problematic and we might have to go to court and battle it out there. I've had bad experiences like that before, and I really don't want to have that again. So I just really want to make sure that from this point forward we're on the same page, and everything with your background and renter's history I'm familiar with. But so far you seem like a really good person who takes care of things, and I have a very good impression about you. And you seem like
that shouldn't be
a
too much of
perfect
a
fit.
problem because I've anticipated that I would probably spend about $1,000 a month just in the rent, and I have some savings, so I can assure you there's not going to be a problem that way. I did think of one question though. The lawn. I'm a busy lady and I really know nothing about gardening and lawn maintenance. I have brothers that and a father that used to do the lawn mowing, and that's a question that I have. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do that. Do you think you could help me out, or are you responsible for the lawn maintenance?
I mean, if you wanted, I really don't live far at all. I could definitely do that for you. I might charge you a little bit. We can figure that out later, though, depending on the lawn. We'll see what happens.
I think we could work together. Perhaps at the time that you are mowing the lawn, I can be weeding or bagging or helping, but I don't know if I'm comfortable about you asking me to pay for that service. Perhaps I feel that it should be included in the rent. But I'm very flexible and I'm willing to help you with it.
All right, how about we agree to do this? I will take care of the lawn. In exchange for that, you will wax my armpit hair, bikini area, and make me look nice for the summer so I can go swimming and not have to worry about wearing my swim trunks. No, I'm just kidding.
I think we can work that out. Maybe a pedicure, so when you're wearing your sandals, your feet will look good. I'm sure we can work that out.
So with the fingernail painting, are you going to include that as well?
Just pedicures and manicures. I don't do sculptured nails, which men, I guess you it's fake nails that women wear. I don't do those, but I do pedicures and manicures. And I do quite a few men. Men love pedicures.